And we back. Welcome back to another 2023 Get Buckets podcast. I'm your host, Musa Moretti, powered by Hardwinning Basketball. Happy New Year's, everybody. Today, I just wanted to cover all 2022 hoops and just some great memories we had from it. I'm going to try and keep this 10 minutes or less. I got a good amount written down, but that's good so I can stay on track and all that. But man, 2022 had some great moments, and this is again all Greenville County schools teams, but I knew a good amount about the season, both the beginning of this season and the ends of last season's. Man, there's been some hype moments, playoffs. I could. You're about to hear some of this. First off, we got to start off with a banger. Caleb Bird's game-winning shot against Dorman. Man, I was supposed to be at this game, but I was unable to get to it, and that's just it. Still is crazy in my head how he hit the shot and upset Noah Clowney's Dorman that last year. Man, Dorman had so much talent last year, but the matchup of Drake and Noah, and Caleb and just the guards at Dorman, I guess was a good matchup, and it seemed like a fun game for sure. That's something that Caleb can remember for the rest of his life, and just a great memory from 2022. So that's my first thing I had to mention. Second of all, Justin Bailey winning the 2022 championship for Blue Ridge. Blue Ridge's first ever high school championship in basketball. I also have here that Justin basically averaged 40 points in the playoffs, and this is actually wild. I mean, it is crazy. I went to go watch him play against who was it, Ren and Daniel, and I believe he had 43 against Ren and 38 against Daniel, and it's just crazy, man. Justin Bailey really had the state on his back after this run, man. After beating Keenan and Orangeburg Wilkinson, he had doubt throughout there was doubt throughout the whole entire playoffs. If he could take their team all the way, and it's just great to see. And I also did my research. That's the first public school to from Greenville County to win the state championship in basketball since Southside in 2017 through 18, and they had a dominant team. But so once again, man, Justin really he said he did so. He brought Greenville County to the head of the state after that. Southside Christian did win in 2021, but that's why I said first public win. So just another great memory from 2022. Now I'm gonna get to all the other schools. Those are the two big ones I had to mention, but just listen, man. Yeah, I noticed a good amount, and a lot of this is just pure off memory. So just listen. So Justin Ray gets All State as a 10th grader, and this was last year, of course. Gets All State and is in All Greenville County first team. He drops 38 points in his first week in his 11th grade season against Woodmont. Talked about that earlier this season. Cam Williams last year for Southside gets All Region as a freshman. Gets All County second team. He then leaves South. He then goes to Spartanburg, then goes to Hillcrest, then leaves the state. He moves up to North Carolina with a former teammate Jamarion Anderson, who used to go to Southside High School, and they team up at Quality Education. Cam gets injured after dunking, I believe. So just crazy year for Cam, but still definitely a solid player, like I've mentioned in the past. Um, Pro graduates from Greenville High School, able to wow, leading them to another region championship win. They continuously win region championships, and he was able to help them get another one in his final season. Basketball is a secondary sport from football. He signed to South Carolina State last year, and sadly he tore his ACL this past season, but still a D1 football quarterback. But what else do I have? He also hit a game winner against Eastside in region play to help them get the region championship last year. From about half court, it was a deep three, and just dominated and was able to get all state as well. Baba, his brother, besides a minor altercation against AC Flora, had a great season, all region as a freshman, and transferred to Legacy, so he's no longer with Greenville. But he was a part of that run, and he got all region as a freshman, so it was great to see. Um, Elijah, Elijah Jones transfers from Riverside, but Elijah comes to Riverside. Comes from Riverside after he feels he was snubbed from getting all region last year. And I'm not saying anything will happen in region right now, but dropping 28, and after I watched him this past weekend, just probably their number one, number two score between him and Bryson Drummond, and just a very fundamental player. Um, so yeah, I wrote here Elijah comes to Greenville to continue tradition as in winning these region championships. So I expect them to win the region, especially after this weekend, or after this week. Even though they did lose to Gray Collegiate to finish off 2022, they were like 10-0 before that game, and they only lost by 4. And Gray's a very talented team. And like I said, I feel like the only competition they really have in region is West Side, and that should be a fun game. But nonetheless, continue that tradition. Travelers Rest won their region again last season. Even after Jakari retires, I have here Jakari retires. Jakari was their like what would I say, Draymond Green, Dennis Rodman guy, the one that just brought the energy and got the board, did the little things. And after he stopped playing at the end of 2021 or right before region, Jacob Brown, Caleb Mills, they had to work a little bit harder, I'm guessing, and they were still able to win the region championship in 2022, and that's just great to see as well. So they got to continue that tradition over there as well. Caleb Mills, though, it's basically all him this season, him and Earl and all them. What do I have here? Julian goes from the fourth option to basically the fourth option goes from the fourth option last year behind guys like Don, Pharrell, Elijah, that Cam, I believe his name was, and basically gets pushed into first option, heavy first option this season, but then goes down with an injury. Pharrell dominated last year. We can't forget how Pharrell dominated, and sadly he, I believe he's at a JUCO right now, but just super athletic, could score. They did end up coming up short against Gigi's Ridgeview team last year, but still had a solid record last year. Struggling a little bit more this year, but they're getting it together a little bit better now. Behind Rylan and Mikey and Drew Cannon, the sharpshooter for them. But if Julian comes back, man, I'll definitely want to watch some of those games. I haven't gotten to watch Riverside this season, but best of luck once again to Julian's recovery. And 4A, yeah, Ridgeview wasn't 4A. They don't have to worry about Gigi this season. They better be glad he went up in Gigi. I know he's not in Grenville County, but I got to mention he committed to North Carolina to go after his senior season, decommitted, so then he could commit to South Carolina this year, so he could go play there this season as just a 17-year-old freshman, which is just, and he's been dominating, which is crazy, man. But 4A, nobody has to worry about him anymore. Obviously, Ridgeview, I mean, they're still going to be good. It's a strong school historically, but best of luck to anybody that faces those teams. 4A is definitely tough A. What do I have here next? Savion gets his 1,000 points for Berea, and I wrote here that they upset Blue Ridge right before the playoffs. So right before Justin Bailey went on his absolute tear, Savion, they won by like 20 in the last region game. Nonetheless, Blue Ridge still won region. I think they were 9-1 in region. West Kellett leads Woodmont to second seed behind strong Malden team. West was a junior last year, and they were unable to beat the Drake Down and Caleb Bird team. But, I mean, that's kind of expected. But they did beat out T.O. who had Trevor Pittman and guys like Jaquarius Patterson. And but nonetheless, beat out T.O. West gets all region and first team all Greenville County, and is leading the team to a strong record this season. Man, I didn't want to mention anything last year. Natumbu got all region last year, and who was the other guy that got all region? They had a senior that got all region. I can't recall his name right now, but nonetheless, Natumbu got all region, and Man finishes 2022 on a 7-game win streak. With Natumbu Calhoun leading them, averaging about 18.5 points right now. Just really gotten better throughout the season so far this year. But right, and then Wade Hampton goes crazy in 2022 or 2021 non-region, but then couldn't really put it together last year in region. lost first round to Malden. Malden, once again, a strong team. And, this year they've only played like 8 games so far, but I'm hoping, Nykel Franklin definitely Nykel's been, him and Coop, even CJ and KD the other day had a great game together, all 4 of them. And if they could put it together, they could get that region. It's between them and Eastside in my mind, but that should be fun, of course. Christchurch loses the region championship game to Abbeville after winning the 2A state championship the year prior in 2021. So yeah, last year Abbeville and Christchurch split in region, so they played in the championship. In my mind, I was like Jordan Butler, DJ. Even though Jordan was a junior, I still thought they had it, but I mistaked how talented Abbeville was. Abbeville ended up winning region that last season, and Christchurch hopefully gets their. They aren't in the same region as Abbeville this year, but gets their revenge in 1A. Got to go get that region. Shannon Forest, I have here. Shannon Forest is storming right now after losing in OT to eventual champion Spartanburg Day last year. So last year, Shannon Forest did lose in the semifinals in Skiza to Spartanburg Day, where Zion went, of course. And they were led by guys like Caleb Banks and big man Don Douglas, who's like 7 foot tall. But that's why I keep saying on here how I need Shannon Forest to go win state because, they're the only, I believe, Skiza team in Greenville County. There's other ones in like Spartanburg, like Oakbrook and Spartanburg Christian Academy, but we need our little county Shannon Forest. We need them to represent, especially with all the seniors they have this year. Brazier, I have Sam Stein finishes his career by dropping 27 against my team last year, Greer Middle College. We did get the win, by the way, but I had to mention Sam did have 27 in that game, and really probably his most dominant game of the season. And then right here, last thing I had to write, of course, I had to mention this. If y'all stay to listen, Jack Pfister hits circuit game winner over Blacksburg. You can find that on Instagram to push GMC to playoffs. After that, we went about 4 or 5. We went on a 5-game win streak to finish off last season. Did lose first round, but thought I'd mention that because it was a crazy game winner for sure. Off one leg, one arm, barely looking at the basket. But yeah, that's about it for 2022. Basically a very consolidated, condensed version. But the big things, obviously, Caleb making that 1-foot game winner, and Justin Bailey, man. Justin, if you got to watch him, man, it was something different for sure. But that will conclude this episode. I'm here now, 2023. This is the last time I'll be speaking on 2022, unless I'm recurring older events. But yeah, let's jump into 2023 on some greatness. I'm ready to see these region play, and I'll be probably talking about region. Getting ready for region and all that, and then coming days. So that will conclude this episode. But hope all is well, and once again, Happy New Year. And let's make 2023 great. Peace.